Hello, Broken Arrow. You're watching City Council Rewind for the meeting on January 21st, 2025, the second meeting of January. I'm Communications Director Aaron McCulloch for the City of Broken Arrow, and this is Vice Mayor Johnny Parks. Councilor Parks, thank you for joining us today.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Good meeting last night, long meeting last night, but a lot of really good stuff. Let's talk first about the visit from the Wagner County officials, the Wagner County Commissioner, Mr. Hanning. Why did we have this presentation from them? I know they have a special election coming up on a proposed sales tax increase. Why was it important to the council for our residents to hear about this?
Well, I think it certainly was important because 20% of their area is in the city of Broken Arrow, the citizens that are in Broken Arrow. So the city's not involved with this election at all. Our purpose, at least my purpose, is to just get information for us because we didn't have any information of what was in the issue, how were they voting, what they were voting, and the information they gave us was just forefront. I mean, you know, the agenda read a presentation by Wagner County officials. It wasn't a public meeting. As far as public input, it certainly wasn't a campaign debate on either side. It was just information for the city and that we could transfer out. They have a large bill to pay that they lost a court case, and it needs to be paid. And who's responsible for that? The bottom line is the citizens of that county is responsible for it. We've had it here in Broken Arrow before. We went to a ad valorem tax, and it's paid off gradually over a long period of time by the citizens. Their case, they really didn't, the county commissioners, didn't want the ad valorem tax. They'd rather have a sales tax on things that are acquired there. And so that's what the debate was about from their perspective. For us, it was just information. I did have quite a few people contact me and say they was upset they didn't get to speak. But again, this was not a campaign. This was just information, and it's stated that way for the city of Broken Arrow. So we kind of know what's going on, and we know that now.
It was a good discussion. We got to hear from one of the county commissioners. We got to hear from the county sheriff. We got to hear from the county court clerk. And you mentioned that we didn't take any public comment last night. First and foremost, it's not a city issue, as you said. This is a county. This is a county initiative, a county proposition, and so you wanted to get that information out to those citizens so they had a little bit better understanding. And so what we wanted to do on our city council recap article on the city website, we've put links into that article back to the Wagner County website. They've got a really nice frequently asked questions document that answers a lot of questions that you can review on that. It also has a sample ballot on there where you can read the language on how the ballot is going to appear whenever Wagner County citizens go to the polls to vote, and that's going to be February 11th. And then to your point about the public comment, we really encourage folks to go to the Wagner County Commissioners meetings, contact the Wagner County Commissioners, contact the Wagner County Sheriff, and they can answer any more of your questions and provide you with the information that you need for this special election.
And that's where it needs to be, the debate needs to be. But we want to make sure that our 20% of citizens at least are informed. I believe in being really informed before you go and vote. What am I voting for? How's it going to look after we get finished? So I thought it was important at least that our citizens knew exactly what was involved with this particular decision.
I agree. Staying on the theme of taking a vote, one of the votes that you all last night really touched a lot of people's hearts, and that was authorizing the city to transfer one of our pieces of equipment that we surplused. It doesn't have any useful life for us anymore, but to surplus it to the city of Nowata, who had a devastating fire just last week. Their public works facility caught fire. They had about 6 or 7 vehicles, heavy equipment in there, a lot of equipment that they're still not even sure what they had in there, just gone to ash. Talk just a little bit about this decision and why it meant so much to you to be able to go ahead and authorize this transfer.
Well, it always is good, I think, when communities can help other communities, to start with. This one was particularly important to me because I'm very familiar with Nowata. Nowata and Broken Arrow were close to the same size back when I was in high school, which is several years ago. In fact, we were in the same football conference and played football. One of the first football games that I played in as a sophomore was in Nowata. And then as I've been teaching, I was teaching at Tri-County in Bartlesville, their tech center, and for 13 years. And 1 year I took some of my students to Nowata, as our students feed in from Nowata. But there was a need to rebuild a building there, a house for a guy that was disabled. And so we spent 2 weeks, half a day each day, and went in and worked with them. And I visited with them, and they had a lot to do with my pushing for the recycling and trash, because they were a small city. Broken Arrow has grown up pretty big now. A small city, they only had 2 trash trucks, one automatic and one that wasn't. And they told me about their recycling program and how it worked. And, I felt like if they could do it, surely we could push it through. So I think for us to be able to do that is really important, to help those about it, just like you do in your own private life. You're always giving money to try to help somebody and see this need. And the city saw this need, and it is very valuable. And they really appreciate it. They had a city councilman down here to accept it, but we gave away, donated a vehicle last night also to the city of Gore. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really one of our vehicles. It was one that we had acquired in some type of sting with the police department. And the state turned it over to us since we had acquired it at that time. It wasn't useful for us, and they had put a request. They needed a car, and so we donated that to them. But the one in Nowata, it's in lieu of somewhere down the line, there could be a time that they needed to come down and maybe a little bit of labor to help us do something. And so that's just kind of on the list later on. But yes, that was exciting. Everybody was excited about that vote.
It was a great example of that Oklahoma standard of neighbors helping neighbors
Exactly.
in their time of need, and it was fantastic to see the collaboration with their counselor come down and just talk about it and how excited he was, because
Right.
it's going to be a big deal for them. This mini
It is.
excavator is going to help them. He talked about how they had like a 3-day water line break, and this mini excavator is going to help them in the days ahead as we're going through these really freezing temperatures. Water lines are going to freeze up. We're going to have breaks. It's going to be vital to what they need to be able to provide services to their citizens.
And these piece of equipment, we had a picture of it, was looking at beforehand, and it's just a small backhoe where they can get around easily in the backyards and do the digging and try to help have to hand dig things to get around that. So yes, it's exciting, and it was good for Broken Arrow to do that.
One other thing that was good for Broken Arrow to do was the connectivity survey, micro survey that we just concluded late 2024. You heard the results last night, and when I say it's good to do this, we're hearing from the community. We're getting their input on how they feel about some of our infrastructure, and on this, it's about the pedestrian infrastructure, your ability to walk, your ability to ride, something with a non-motorized vehicle. And very short survey. It was only 6 questions, but we wanted to hear from folks just about how easy it is to do these things. As we reported last night, the key takeaway was that residents indicated that they have a desire for the city to continue its efforts to expand and increase connectivity for walkers, bicyclists, and other non-motorized modes of travel to safely access various destinations in the city. So basically, not by car. What are we going to do with these results?
Well, I can tell you, I really look at data on anything. Getting back to making a decision on voting. When I'm going to vote for somebody or for something, I make sure that I do research on it. And the city manager that came in, he's been in here for seemed like forever now, but he is an excellent city manager. And one of the first things he did is make sure the citizens are informed, especially with a bond issue. And what we're going to do with this data is we're going to start the process of having the public help us make a decision of what's going to be in our newest bond issue. A new bond issue will be in April of 26. It will probably be, and I guess, probably around $400 million. And it is all a guess now. We'll come in with the actual numbers later on. But we will spend this year, looking at all this data, what people want. And as far as this connectability, I mean, there could be a lot of people that use it, and some people say, well, I don't use it. But I can tell you, I think more people, if it's available, if it becomes available, and we saw how important that was to our citizens, that they're going to start using it. They're going to see that they feel better after they walk for quite a while or ride their bicycle the more they do that. So it's not that we don't want them on the streets, it's just that we want them to be a healthier community. And I think this was what we're looking at, is a healthier community. And I'm hoping that's what they looked at when they encouraged us to do that. So that will be on the building block in the future when we have meetings, and we will have different areas that citizens can come forth and they can see how much this means and how important this is to the citizens of Broken Arrow. And it's important to me they stay healthy. It's important for my kids and family that they stay healthy. So I think that riding the bike area, somebody made the mention last night, well, I haven't seen any bikes on the downtown area. Well, there's a lot of traffic downtown. There might not be, but if you're just riding over to get onto a trail somewhere, it might be a lot more accommodating. But anyway, I feel like it's good, and it's just really the starting of a year-long process to decide what's going to be on that future bond issue.
And if you're interested about those results and you want to know how people responded, you can go to the city website, and we have those results posted there. There were about 35 other items on the agendas, and for more information, you can go to the city website and click on Agendas and Minutes in the Government section. Click on the date range drop-down list and then select the governing body. Find the meeting date of your choice and select the meeting details. Okay, that's it for this edition of City Council Rewind. Vice Mayor Parks, thank you for joining us, and do you have any parting words?
Well, thanks very much for joining us, and that we look forward to seeing you around Broken Arrow.
Thank you for watching. This is a production of the City of Broken Arrow, the city where opportunity lives.